My demonstration speech topic today is about how to play the alto saxophone. My visual aid will be my saxophone. So each instrument belongs in a category such as brass, woodwind, string, percussion, and keyboard. The saxophone belongs in the category of woodwind. The reason for this is because they are played using a wooden reed. If you already knew this and you were wondering why a flute is considered a woodwind, it is because they used to be made out of wood. There are 6 main types of saxophone. The sopranino, which is the smallest, the soprano, the alto, tenor, baritone, and bass. They just continue to get bigger down the line. Saxophones can also come in a variety of colors, but mine is just the basic gold color. The one I'll be showing today is the alto saxophone and the most common one. So, I've seen many people assemble their saxophones in ways that are different than mine, but the order in which you put it together isn't that important as long as your end result is correct, and it's pretty hard to mess up. So first, what I normally do is I will take out my reed, which I keep in this case here. Then generally I would put it in my mouth while I assemble the rest of the saxophone, but I'm not going to do that for the speech. Then I generally take out my neck strap and put it around my neck, making sure that it is loose so that I can adjust my saxophone as needed. Then I'll take out the body of the saxophone, which is the biggest part. Now I'll hook it onto the neck strap and tighten it up just a little bit. And then I take the neck of the saxophone and I attach it to the body. And then I grab the mouthpiece and I loosen up these little notches here, and I'll take my reed out of my mouth and then I assemble it together. And you want to make sure that your reed is lined up with your mouthpiece so that when you play, you aren't squeaking or just not playing your saxophone correctly. So then you tighten it and place your mouthpiece with your reed on your saxophone. Then you want to adjust your neck strap as needed. You don't want it too loose to the point to where your saxophone is far away, but you don't want it too close to where it's just smashing into your face. So then to play your saxophone, you're going to want to put your bottom lip over your teeth and place that on the reed. And then you're going to take your top teeth and put it on top of the mouthpiece. And then you close your mouth and you just blow wind through your saxophone and it'll vibrate the reed, which makes noise. So the way that you're going to hold your saxophone is with your left hand being on the top, and you put it on this little flat surface there, and there's this little button up above it, and that just controls your high note or your low note. So if you don't want to play a high note, you just keep your thumb on the bass, but if you want to switch up to a high note, then you just press your thumb upwards. Your right hand is going to want to be hooked right under this little hook here, and then when you play your saxophone, the most basic notes that you can play would be a G, which is your top 3 left fingers just on the 3 big buttons. And there are, of course, different little buttons here, but there's just 3 big ones that you put your fingers on. Then for an A, it's just going to be your top 2 left fingers. And for a B, it's just going to be your top 4 finger. For a C, it's going to be your middle finger on the middle key. And then for a D, you're going to want to press in your top key right here, and you're going to have your top 3 left fingers and your bottom 3 right fingers and hold those down, and that's how you play a D. An E is your top 3 left fingers and your bottom top 2 right fingers. And then for an F, if you want to play an F natural, then it's just your top 3 left fingers and your top right finger. But an F sharp is also a very common note, and you just play that with your top 3 left fingers and your middle right finger. Hot Cross Buns is probably the easiest song to play, and that's probably the one that you would learn first, but playing gets a lot easier as you continue. So to disassemble your saxophone, generally I just take off my mouthpiece, and I will unscrew these. I'll take my reed out, and then normally I just wipe it on my pants or shirt or something so that the spit just doesn't grow moldy. And I'll put it back into my little case to protect it from anything that could break it. Then I'll take my mouthpiece and put it into its little case. And then the neck of my saxophone. And each thing has a little part for you to put your part of the saxophone in. You can take your body and you set it down, and then your neck strap, you're going to want to loosen it, take it off. Then you can just fold it in a little 3-way fold and wrap the loose part around. And close your case. And that is how you play the alto saxophone.